news and notes from around the league.
All right, the big news.
Time for more interesting discussion.
Chip Kelly's gone. Sayonara.
Goodbye, Chip Kelly. You burned
Does that
bright.
mean that we no longer have to have that time to next play little graphic that's up on the screen constantly and when the Eagles are in prime time?
They won't know what to do with that game this week.
Well, that's going to be interesting.
And speaking of that, I would say that I don't know what to do with the offense. I'm guessing it's going to be pretty much the same offense for the final week. But Sam Bradford was my start of the week. And if you're in a championship game in week 17, I would
Stream
rather
of the week.
Stream of the week, thank you. As my streamer, I would rather probably go with one of your guys' streams just because there's the chance that they come out here and say, hey, we're a running team. I mean, you just don't know, and I don't want to take that gamble and that risk in a championship match.
I
It does
agree with
make
that.
me more confident in my start of the week this week and the New York Giants offense in general. There's, now even more of a unsettled situation on a defense that was terrible anyway.
The only counter argument I'll give to that is the hoorah of the coach firing. We saw it happen with Miami this year where a team that had been horrific, they fired their coach. For 2 games, Miami came out like full gangbusters.
This is such a different situation. This is week 17.
I completely agree.
The season's over.
And the players were, there were a lot of
games in New York.
A lot of reports talking about the players being very upset and pissed and angry at this firing. So it's not the same.
I'm reading about players who they don't like Chip Kelly.
So you're reading about DeMarco
There's
Murray.
nothing to hoorah for anymore. This season's over.
Yeah.
And it's been said that Chip Kelly wanted to retain personnel control and that Laurie balked at that, and essentially 2 egos knocked together in a room, and Kelly got fired. Is it the right move? Is it the wrong move? I don't know. He certainly made personnel decisions that were very questionable and did not come to fruition this year in a positive way. So did they give him enough time? Who knows? That could be debated forever. The truth of the matter is all of the I don't even know the right word for it, but all of the polish that comes with being in a Chip Kelly offense is now gone from those players heading into next year because Chip Kelly's not going to be there. It's not going to be this we get off 20 more plays than everybody else per game situation. So, we'll find out. We'll know a lot more when they hire somebody and when they set an offense in place and whether Bradford comes back. And like I said before the show, I think DeMarco Murray is there.
Yeah,
I think he's there and he's going to get the rock next year.
The quick take for me is that Sam Bradford I'd say the quick gut reaction is Sam Bradford will not be there. He will leave, and DeMarco Murray will still be there in Philadelphia, where it was looking more and more like he would be shipped out. I think he will be there, and they will find a play caller who suits what DeMarco can do more.
All right, I'm going to shoot through the rest of this news. You guys jump in where you think a comment is relevant.
Okay.
All right. Jonathan Stewart is not practicing on Wednesday.
It's not a good sign for the weekend.
Alshon Jeffery, everybody's favorite
soft tissue
groin injury, hamstring pull. He's on IR now.
That's not good for Alshon Jeffrey's fantasy production this week.
Probably not going to do well this week. So I like Zach Miller a lot to pick up the slack. Once again, a great tight end start. Bills placed tight end Charles Clay on IR as well. Very disappointing season for a guy that's getting paid as a tight end 1, like a lot of money.
It's very scientific.
Yeah, I mean he's being paid.
Yes, he is.
Like a 1.
Yeah,
he has more guaranteed money than almost any tight end.
Yeah, I believe I had read he's of any tight end who's not on a rookie contract, he is making the most per game or so.
So they need to use him better. He's not a bad player. They just did not use him correctly.
Yeah. All
right. The Colts have signed Josh Freeman and Ryan Lindley, everybody's playoff darling from – oh, wait. No, that was bad.
I'm looking into the future. Injuries that are going to happen this week.
Who do you think are some possible players that might get injured this week?
I think that Josh Freeman is staring at an injury coming
What about Ryan Lindley?
And Ryan Lindley is also
he's somebody.
He's about a week away
whoever
from a
gets
concussion.
to play for the Colts is gonna get hurt
because of the tissue paper offensive line.
Because they can't protect the quarterback.
And what this says clearly is that Andrew Luck will not be ready. So if you grabbed him off of waivers, like I said yesterday, it's probably safe to drop him now.
So who do you want? Who would you rather watch this week? Would you rather it be Josh Freeman or Ryan Lindley?
Matt Hasselbeck.
No,
don't do
no.
it. Don't.
No,
Come
I'm talking.
on.
This
he
is
has a
purely,
wife and children.
This is purely from the perspective of it's going to be a total disaster. So
I'd like to see Josh Freeman back in the NFL, and I would also just reemphasize that the Titans are a wonderful defensive play this week. Like we mentioned yesterday, this thing is going to be a problem.
Do you remember when Josh Freeman, when he got cut in Tampa Bay, he got picked up by Minnesota, and Minnesota was having their quarterback shuffle, and they threw him out there where he had no time to learn the playbook, yet they still called about 40 pass plays when they had Adrian Peterson. Clearly, I'm still salty about that game, but it was
one game. He was 20 for 53, which is 37% passing, with one interception and a total of 190 yards and no touchdown.
I am pretty confident that was a primetime game.
He is my sit of the week.
And it was so bad.
It was tough. All right, the Jags have confirmed that Gus Bradley will return for a fourth season in 2016.
Gus.
Gus Bradley, water bet 8-8 or better next year. Jason, would you like to take that?
I would not like to take that bet.
Wow.
It's way too early to tell. The Jags are on the way up.
They are on the way up.
I do think they're on the way up.
Okay, so that's good.
Well, how many games did they win last year? Was it 5 or less?
I don't remember.
Because then technically they are on the way up.
Yeah, exactly. I like Gus Bradley. It's been a joke, kind of a joking conversation around the studio here about my like for Gus Bradley, despite the kind of slow ascension of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We've seen an offense that's been great. They need
the tortoise. Slow and steady wins the race.
You remember who they get back next year? Their
number one pick.
Yeah, they'll get him back on defense, and then
Fowler. Was that his name?
Yep. Not.
Oh, that's right. I completely
Dante
forgot.
Fowler?
Yeah,
that
Dante
he
Fowler Jr. Right?
blew his knee out the first play.
That
of
was rough.
training cramp.
Yeah, I mean,
training cramp. He did have the cramps.
No, Dante Fowler Jr. comes back, and it was 4 days after he inked the deal after.
Yes.
They gave him a 4-year max deal after the ACL tear. He'll be back. He's had plenty of time. That's like picking up a brand new, we've seen the impact of defensive linemen. And then, I don't know. I like Jacksonville.
I do too.
They're my Cinderella story.
They are a fun team to watch. And I will say this, Blake Bortles, for a second-year quarterback, I believe that he will actually trend and be a very good quarterback. That's what I think.
All right. So the Bengals are hearing A.J. McCarron is day-to-day. They did an X-ray on the wrist, and it's a sprain. He is likely to play this week, and then he is likely to start the first playoff game if they don't have a bye, because they're saying Dalton could not play in the divisional round. So that's just throwing that out there. It's also good to know for A.J. Green whether they have a third stringer behind center. Drew Brees doesn't see a scenario in which he and Peyton don't return next season. For dynasty, circumstances, Brandon Cooks, those type of players.
Willie Snead even.
Willie Snead. Good to know that, or at least good to think about the fact that if Breeze is back and Peyton's back, that offense stays, I think, relevant to fantasy football. And then what's the latest with Marshawn Lynch? We didn't mention it yesterday. We should have. Marshawn Lynch.
There's talk that he could be back this weekend. My gut tells me he will not. However,
bad situation if he comes back this weekend, right?
It's a really bad situation. I mean, I know the guy's beast mode, and he does just supernatural human things that the mere mortal man cannot do. However, Marshawn Lynch he's been out of football for weeks. He is not in football shape, and he would be coming to play on the road against the Arizona Cardinals, who have a top running defense of the league. It's not a situation where I'm in my championship week. I get Lynch back. Yes, my stud is back. I'm throwing him out. I don't see a scenario where he succeeds.
What if you're somebody that's been starting Christine Michael the past week and a half?
Find someone else.
Find Rashad Jennings.
Okay.